Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review for Friday night show, which is, of course, Newcastle United news. We have a very special guest coming up in just a moment. Of course, Chris from EverMore, good friend of the channel, great guy, and not afraid to speak his mind either. So that should be very interesting. I'm joined by my fellow hosts. We've got Alex, we got Billy, and we got Lady Sam. So hope you enjoyed tonight's show, guys. If you do, don't forget to give it the thumbs up. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, free to do so. But don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. You can become a member of the Toon Review by hitting that join button just underneath us. And of course, you can super chat the channel if you do so wish by hitting that $sign at the bottom of the live comments. And that will guarantee your comment to be read out on the show. Right, it is the last time you'll see my mug for a couple of weeks. I am handing the reins over to my esteemed colleagues for a couple of weeks. You may have, if you have had your notification bell switched on, it would have been buzzing a lot this afternoon because the next 2 weeks worth of shows were scheduled in. Now, obviously, if there's any breaking news and things like that, the guys will sort that out and bring you the shows, etc. That they need to bring you if we make any remarkable signings during the day or something breaks. But apart from that, just give them your support, guys. They are going to be running the show for 2 whole weeks, including Matchday Live against Hull City, which I'm not very happy that I'm missing, but I'll be on the flight home. So, yeah, Anthony's asking, how will we survive without Paul? Pretty easily, to be honest. These guys know what they're doing. They really do. Sam, we ain't seen you for a while. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Sorry, I've been out gallivanting, but something that I did just want to comment on just at the start of the show, just to get out of the way. Obviously, saw the morning news. Oh, no. Saw the morning news today, and getting a little bit of hate was really hurtful to actually see towards Paul in regards to some comments that I think people have taken way out of context. I just want to say, for complete disclosure, I'm dyslexic, and the first time I was invited to join the channel, I let Paul know. We had a chat backstage about it, and Paul really took the time to understand what is it that you need from us, what can I help you with, how does it impact you. So to actually have people insinuating that there was any malice behind anything that's said or wasn't said, you just need to absolutely jog on about it, because that is absolutely not my interpretation of Paul at all. For him to do something like that and understand my needs and take the time, that's just incongruent with who Paul is as a person and my personal experience. So sorry to just have that at the head, but I just, coming out defense of Paul, it's got to be said. So
I've got something to say on top of that as well, is that a couple of people have obviously reported the video, which has been taken down, and me and Billy spent our evening doing that for everyone. So going through player reviews. So that was wasted my evening. So thanks for that, trolls. This is why a lot of people like Elon Musk and Twitter, because people can actually voice their opinion and not get banned for it. I've just wasted an hour of my life talking about players that's just been removed, and people haven't seen that show yet. So it's just gone. So I hope when the world changes a little bit, you're not allowed to do that anymore, because it's ridiculous, because you just wasted an hour of my life. So thanks for that.
It's called jealousy. That's all it is. The bigger, like you said earlier, Sam, the bigger we get, the more they're going to come for us. It's as simple as that. So, but thank you for those words. It means a lot, that. Thank you. Right, let's bring in somebody who suffers from rage issues, just like myself. Chris, good evening.
Good evening, guys. That's a great intro, isn't it? Sounds like anger management classes.
Yeah,
group therapy.
Bloody hell. Yeah, Kieran has just gifted 50 memberships.
Wow.
5-0. That is incredible generosity. Thank you, Kieran. That is incredible. If you are one of those members who've been gifted, are one of now members, please do say Kieran, thank you so much. That is incredibly generous, mate. Thank you very much. Garant, thank you for your membership for 6 months now. Glad Paul has done his back sack and crack. The thong is packed. To be serious, Paul and family have a great time. Thank you. I will not be wearing a thong. That is a certainty. Geordie Rick, thank you for your super chat. Paul, take no notice of the haters and have a mint holiday. Thank you. Michael McIntyre, thank you for your super sticker. Gary Clark, thank you for your super chat. Sam, your thoughts on the ladies' new keeper?
Oh, Claudia Moan. Yes, please. Very excited about that one. Golden Glove of the season last year. Remember, they were in the division above us, the Mackhams, and we've gone and stole arguably their top player. I believe she also got player of the season as
She
well.
did, yeah,
This is a huge coup for the club. I know that some of us came out and had some question marks over Donnelly last year. We have a fantastic defence in the women's team anyway, which probably protected a little bit. Grace is definitely part of the squad next year, but what a signing as well as the rest.
New number one. Definitely a new number one, without a shadow of a doubt. Andy K, thank you for your super chat. Evening, guys and gals watching with the wife Joe from Billingham. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Andy, and good evening, Joe. Jens, thank you for your super chat. I myself have writing problems. I wasn't at all offended. Use your head all and stop giving our channel problems for no crap reason. Cheers. Thank you, Jens. Right, Chris, the first thing that I want to talk to you about is obviously the news that broke regarding Amanda Staveley. Were you expecting this, or were you like me and thought, yep, maybe it's a couple of years' time, given what she said a few months back when we thought she'd sold all our shares and she made that statement, of course, on Instagram. What have you made of it all?
Well, it was funny actually because I was away with the day job and my watch buzzed and I had a WhatsApp off my mate who said Staveley and Murdad have gone, and I couldn't wait to get out of the meeting to try and have a look at the detail of it. But I think we were all expecting it at some point, as you say, Paul. But it's interesting just listening to Sam yourself talk about the women's team. That's got to be Amanda's legacy, isn't it? How well she's done with that, as well as everything else. It's been incredible, that. But yeah, it kind of took me by surprise, just with the speed of it. I think the silence from the club was a bit worrying, I think, because I thought, hopefully nothing's happened behind the scenes. There's been no fallouts. But I think this was always going to be on the cards. I think Amanda Staveley is somebody who brokers deals and then she moves on. And I think because we've become so affectionately attached to her, because she's been held up as this savior figure, which is what she is, really, getting rid of the big bad devil himself and Mike Ashley, that, she's become this kind of iconic figure in the fan base because of not just what she did to get rid of him, but the support she showed to the players and Eddie. So I think it was a bit of a shock, but I think the club have obviously had this in the plan. And I think we can only just think that this is part of the evolution to take Newcastle to the next level. And hopefully, Amanda will come out, I'm sure, with a lovely statement soon and thank everybody involved with the club, and she'll move on and save somebody else maybe as well someday.
Well, this is what we said, and this is what we hope that's happened. And of course, some reports have said, she's been forced out. She's got unfinished business at Newcastle. I'm not sort of taking any part in that, to be honest. I genuinely believe, and I think we all do on here, is that, she was brought in to oversee the takeover, get it through, get it done, and then steady the ship. That is what she's good at. And now it's somebody else to take it to that next level.
Absolutely. No, I think you're right. I mean, we've got to remember as well, I mean, she was ridiculed so much in the early stages of this takeover, wasn't she? In terms of, people calling her tire kickers, some of the stuff Simon Jordan said. You could tell there was a personal issue there, maybe from a business deal gone wrong years ago or whatever. Or I don't know, maybe she didn't buy him a glass of Chardonnay in a posh bar in London or something. He spat his dummy or something like that. But you're right, Paul. I think this is a business deal, and I think it's because we've become so attached to her. And she's been a class act. I think both of them have. Her and Murdad have been absolute class in a glass. They really have, and I think that's just helped us fall in love with them even more. So I think all the fans are, a little bit. It's like losing somebody close to you in a weird way. But I think we will get to that point where we understand the process. Looking at Paul Mitchell coming in, he's a big name, as you guys have already covered, and we've covered as well. And we can only look forward, I think, not back, but I think we've got to thank them for everything they've done. And like you say, Paul, not try and read into it something that isn't there. This is just part of the process.
Yeah. A couple of super chats just to go through. Kevin, thank you for yours. Evening all, Chin Up Paul, awesome channel. We've got Wayne as a new member. Thank you very much, Wayne. And Kevin M has also gifted 5 Toon Review memberships as well. So 55 gifted memberships tonight. That's incredible stuff. Thank you so much. Oh, it's unbelievable. Sam, how are you? I don't. Have you been on since the announcement about Amanda? I can't remember.
I was in the news chat.
Oh yes, you were. Yeah,
when you did the live, and honestly, I am devastated about it. And I think, let's be honest, instrumental to the takeover. Arguably changed the course of the club's history. And Amanda's, she's a power broker. She's navigated in order to overcome the likes of the Saudi piracy lawsuit, which the Premier League were protesting. We didn't want to let them in at that point. She's navigated all of that and just going straight for the takeover deal. The criticism, which obviously Chris has just spoke to as well, being called unprofessional in regards to the comments about Steve Bruce, when, as we as fans know those statements to be accurate, confirmed by players also. There's no politeness in business. It doesn't play well on the pitch. And I think she's done a fantastic job. And I think we all need to remember that this felt like a business opportunity that turned into like a love affair for both of them. The family was involved. She's gave us the investment, the professionals to carry it forward, the expansion of St. James's, the new font, the naming rights, elevated the charity foundation, and what she's done for the women. Oh my goodness, giving us something to be so proud of, where we're going to see them elevate to that next level as well, and give the club the greatest potential that we've ever seen. So greatest heartfelt thanks from me. I'm gutted to see them leaving.
And that's how it should be, isn't it, Billy? It should be a thank you rather than anything else. Instead of all this garbage about, why did she leave, and people doing all sorts of saying all sorts of weird things, about her health, about her financial status. We have to look back at this and say, right, the next challenge is on for whoever takes the mantle to take us to the next level. But we will never forget what Amanda and Mairdad have done for this club and for the area.
She's probably the most important person involved with Newcastle United in the 21st century. Because without her and her work, who knows where Newcastle United would be at this precise moment in time. Yeah. It could be a League Two club, could even be whatever it's called these days, Panorama, whatever they're called. Could be anywhere. We certainly wouldn't have stayed in the Championship with the previous owner because he wouldn't invest anymore. We still have Steve Bruce in charge. We may still have Steve Bruce in charge. Yeah. So I think where we've come from that moment to now, because of her tenacity, determination to get the deal done, it's an amazing thing. And yeah, it is sad she's going, but it was all part of the process. She may well go and save someone else now, as Chris mentioned earlier, and then someone else will be able to love her like we have. I think she'll always remain in our hearts from now till infinitum. To be honest, she's been a fantastic kind of addition to the club, and saved the club and saved our football club. It's quite emotional thinking about her not being part of it. But
it is. It is an emotional event. Yeah, definitely. Steve says, Lady Sam, I've just seen your glass. What have you done with the goldfish? Well, she drinks that as well. Oh, no, she doesn't. I shouldn't say that. We'll get the...
Oh, steady, Paul. You might upset someone.
I know.
Pescatarians will be on the
Jesus Christ. Gary Clark, thank you for a super chat. He says, anyone who got rid of Ashhat would be a hero. But Amanda's conduct took it to the next level. Saint Amanda. It's about excitement now, though, isn't it, Alex? What's coming next?
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of talk about the people that she's brought in, or that several of them have brought in to run the structure of the club. We've got everybody in the right places now. I think there was a bit of a wobble with obviously Dan Ashworth and that situation that wasn't planned. But I think we've very fortunately come out of the other side even better with Paul Mitchell and some of his staff joining us as well. Darren Eel seems fantastic. His experience, we've talked about this several times, with having to build the brand of a club in the US from scratch with Atlanta United, having no fans, no kit, no stadium. He had to generate that. And I couldn't even fathom, like we talk about football in this country and around Europe. Yeah, we've never really had that thought about creating a football club from the ground up. And I think the closest we've had to that is maybe #United. We got all that coverage on YouTube, but they started at the 10th tier of English football, so it was very different. They went straight in as a franchise in the MLS. So his experience of Peter Silverstone, of course, is in there. And yeah, it's good. We've got the right people in the right positions. They've got the structure now. It seems like everybody understands they need to be part of the project. I don't think Paul Mitchell would have joined us if he had any plans to move on. I think he, with his CV and where he was in his career, he could have had the pick of anywhere. So I think he's chosen us for a reason. I think he wants an exciting project. So
now, Chris, we've seen a few people in the chat and across the internet as well, just saying about Newcastle's sort of lack of a statement in all this. I mean, I have to say, I was convinced we'd have heard a statement by now on what was going on. And that is just sort of, I don't know, it's gaining traction with the people who were suspicious of it all, and how maybe she's been sort of forced out and told to go. Is it weird we haven't had a statement yet, even a small one?
It is a little odd because the new Newcastle United love to communicate and they love to talk to the fan base, don't they, as well? So I think that is a bit strange, but it's manna from heaven, is it, from the ITKs and the fantasy merchants? They've probably got Amanda walking down the street like Game of Thrones and people throwing shame and throwing stones at and stuff like that. Possibly the way these nutters go on sometimes, honestly. But I think maybe the club have respected her stance in this position. She might want to draft something herself rather than the club take control, because of, I think, everything Sam said there as well, you know, how much of her emotional connection that she's had to the club. She's poured her heart and soul into this, not just this deal, but this football club, this community. She's met people from the food bank. She's met people, you know, the fan base on all levels, you know, the kids, the women's team, you know, the old pensioners that go to see Newcastle. We've got such an eclectic mix of fan base. You know, there's people from all walks of life, and people have to remember as well, not to get political, it's definitely what I'm doing, but we live in a part of the country that you know, it has seen bad times, has seen difficult times, and people spend every penny they've got to follow this team we call United, you know, and she's met those people, they've touched her heart. So I think maybe there's more truth in the fact that they're respecting her stance on it, and I think she'll come out with a statement that'll probably, you know, bring a tear to a glass eye, I think, when we read it eventually, and that's maybe why the club has stayed silent. That's kind of my thought on it.
Well, I think, Billy, you better, if that does happen and a statement comes from Amanda, you read it in private and not on camera, because you'll flood your house, mate. And, you know, Billy does tend to get very emotional with this sort of thing. I think probably Sam would as well, to be honest. I think we all would, let's be honest. I mean, if Amanda comes out and, you know, just has a sort of a thank you to the fans, a thank you to the club, a thank you to everybody, and that, you know, she's not going to forget us and she'll always be a Newcastle fan and all of this. And I mean, that, you know, Billy's away already, bless him.
I was going to say, get him a tissue, he's got it.
I mean, obviously, Stato, you know, who has a heart of stone there, doesn't even smile when I mention getting emotional. You know, I mean, he doesn't even bleed blood, that man, does he? He just stays.
Phase 2, we've got to concentrate. We need to win everything. That's what Amanda wanted.
It's what she would have wanted.
I'm dead.
No. It's what she wanted, not would have wanted. No, let's not insert words where they weren't. It's what she wants, what she wanted when we got the takeover. She said, we're going to win something within 5 to 10 years. That's the plan. She wants Newcastle United to win everything. That's the plan of everything. You know, the reason she says a lot of these things is that's obviously the kind of conversations that happens behind closed doors that kind of leaks out in general conversation, because you can't help it, can you? It's, you know, even though they do have to keep a professional hat on, I'd probably say Eddie Howe's better than Amanda at doing that. Eddie Howe is I don't know how he does it. I think he's one of the best in the industry at doing it. He can keep cards so close to his chest over the course of 40, 50, 60 interviews. It's absurd. Whereas Amanda is quite passionate, which is great. But then I think she probably lets a couple of things out that maybe were said behind closed doors. Well, yeah. But those kinds of statements probably, I think the PIF, I mean, I can't speak for them. Maybe I'm making this up. This is just my assumption, is that maybe they would like to keep these kinds of statements a little bit more closed. I think Simon Jordan touched on this today, and I actually agree with him. I think they would probably like to operate in the shadows and keep a little bit quieter about our ambition. Whereas Amanda's publicly been a bit more, we're going to win everything, which is great. But I think she's kind of let that emotion go, which is great. It does resonate with the fans. And it's
she realizes how the fans have felt for 15 years and wants to give
of
that.
Of course. yeah, she realizes that a lot of fans need that because we were so down in the dumps. Like we were, it's just proof how bad we all were as a fan base. When we thought we were going to go down, we all thought we were probably going to get a double relegation. We thought we were probably destined for League One because it was not sustainable what we had at that point. So we were kind of ready for a Bolton or for what happened to Sunderland. We were ready for that. It was on. It was fully on. So I think she knew that we needed a bit of passion injecting into kind of just we just needed a bit of hope and a bit of positivity. And she maybe did the right thing.
Okay. James says, hi all. How is everyone doing? I've just got back from Benidorm and it feels like I've missed quite a lot. Can you fill me in on everything? Well, James, I have to be in the airport in a few hours. So it would probably take all night to go through.
Too much.
Yeah, too much. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, player-wise, I think now, we've got Sam, we've got some top guys running this football club now. Mitchell, of course, he's bringing in his friend, Bunsey Boy. He's coming to the club. I don't even know if that's his nickname, by the way, but,
by the way, Simon in the chat makes a good point. They have that meeting today, don't they?
Yeah.
That was booked in. I think that got confirmed because they, you can see that they've booked it out. So they have a big meeting. So maybe we'll get something next week. That's probably what that's for. So
I think we will.
Just got to be patient.
Possibly. Maybe they're having a big knees up to thank Amanda, and it's a big party going on right now. Roadblock, thank you for your super chat. Could be being a bit soft and previous here, but what do you think at some point in the future of a statue of Amanda like Sir Bobby and Big Al? I mean, statues. Look, I'm not going to talk statues because I'll sound like Paul Gallant wanting a statue on every bloody turnstile of bloody St James's Park. I think when the dust settles, probably a few years down the road, and you see where we are, but there may be, because she has
maybe
done
name an executive lounge after her or something like that.
Yeah, the Amanda Staveley Suite, something like that would be nice.
I think a War Flags tribute would be so
absolutely,
fitting.
Yeah,
I would love to see War Flags do that, and that is such a public statement of, because they're the representation of the fan base. I think that would be wonderful.
I'd be shocked if that's not already on the cards. That they've got such a great way of tapping into the frequency of how we all feel as fans. They're great. Them guys do amazing stuff. They really do. And I'd be shocked if they're not already on that, Sam, because they are excellent at that, aren't they? So
I just hope they're there for me, Dad, and Amanda are there for the first game, especially if there is going to be a War Flags tribute. It'd be amazing to see them in the crowd, and it'd be very, very emotional. Very, very emotional. Spike, thank you for your super chat. He says, it's sad Amanda is going and will be missed. As for rants, I love a good rant. That's why I love the Toon Review and Evermore. Thank you very much, Spike. Much appreciated. Right. There was a player link today who me and Billy covered on this morning's show. I wanted to get the other guys' opinions on this guy because I think he's absolutely superb. And I've completely forgotten his name. But I am under a lot of stress at the minute, packing for holiday.
Yilmaz, Paul.
Yilmaz, that's him. Yes, thank you, Billy. He got a huge thumbs up from me and Billy this morning. Chris, fantastic player, excellent Euros, and he's a handful. He can play left, he can play right, or he can play through the middle. He's just a bulldozer, this guy.
Absolutely, and he's creative as well. He's sharp. He's hard work, and everything that Eddie would probably want from a player as well. And I mean, I've been really impressed with Turkey in general. I know we were linked to Arda Güler ages ago. I think you probably covered it on the stats. I know Mark did on our channel as well. And he obviously went to Real Madrid, and he looks a hell of a player as well. But this lad's definitely got something about him, and it'd be interesting. I think that maybe the lack of movement from the club is they're maybe looking at a lot of these players that are shining at the Euros, and the chances to put bids in for them when they go out, and they've had time to maybe go and relax a bit, get a hold of their agents, and try and look at it. And this lad definitely is a crack player. I think he'd be a great addition, and we need some creativity, don't we, in those areas, because some of our wingers, shall we say, have misfired over the last season or two. So it'd be nice to have somebody that could do something.
Yeah. Chippers keeps on mentioning about Paul Gallant taking over from Amanda. I think Chippers really does love him. He loves Paul. I think there's a real brotherhood of man there, Chippers, and don't be afraid to let it out, mate.
On the ass.
Billy's talking about the boxer shorts, by the way. If anyone's wondering what he means by that.
I just go with it. I just go wherever Billy says. I just ride the wave.
Chris, that can be a very, very bad thing to do, riding the wave with Billy Trey. Trust me.
I've got armbands on me in case I drown. I'll be all right.
Yeah. Show Amanda how much we appreciate the work she's done at our first home match. I think even if there wasn't a War Flags, Billy, I still think that the crowd will be singing our name and things like that will still be going on.
100%. I don't think it'll just be the first game. I think there'll be lots of songs about Amanda for the foreseeable, to be honest. You know, Liverpool fans still sing about Dalglish, for Christ's sake. I think it's going to be similar with Newcastle United fans and Amanda. Save for the club. Simple as that. Save for the club.
Yeah, and I think that's what we should all appreciate. And the fact now is, Sam, under Mitchell, he's got this. Bunce has come in, and we were talking about him this morning. He is going to be really in charge of everything on the medical side of it. You know, if you look at what his role was at Monaco, what he's coming in to do. Obviously, Mitchell has looked at the injury situation from last year. He's bringing in a guy who does everything in that department, and will probably, we were all talking about it this morning, will probably be that go-to for Eddie Howe. So instead of having 5 or 6 views on injuries, tell them, yeah, he's fit, no, he's not fit, yes, he's fit. There'll be one guy to say he's good to go or he's not good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's almost like a custodian of are those training drills going to be too much? Are we pushing the lads too hard? That we are actually increasing the risk of injury here. And actually to have someone like that in who can not only, look at the British cycling team when they did the sort of like the marginal gains model. Like it's almost like that. Not only how can we avoid injury, but how can we also optimize performance? And I think that twinned with Eddie's amazing skill to develop players, I think is just going to be absolutely fantastic for the season.
Chris, do you think we're talking about, Eddie Howe in this as well? We know how Amanda and Mairdad felt about Eddie Howe. There was a very, very close connection between them. And certainly he was, Amanda was Eddie Howe's go-to person, wasn't she, and Mairdad? It was clear to see that. How do you think Eddie's feeling about them leaving the club now? Do you think he would have got any sort of, any forward thinking on this, that this was going to happen before the season started, that Amanda would be moving on? And where does he see himself now if we have a bad start to the season? Does he start twitching his neck?
It's interesting. I recorded a video earlier on, and I said exactly the same thing, Paul. To be honest with you, I think Eddie is Stato touched on it. You won't see it from Eddie because he just has that ability to mask anything that concerns him. It's a great skill. Stato was absolutely right about that. A lot of managers could do with that skill that Eddie has effortlessly, really. But I think you will understand it's part of the process. He knew what he signed up for this ticket. This project was like a carousel, constantly moving. You knew there was going to be things coming and going. Ashworth was obviously one of them. This is another part of it. So he won't be surprised by it. But I think in the back of his mind, he possibly will think, these guys were a bit of a security blanket for me. When the PIF are maybe just looking at headlines in the news and the league table, they were someone who would maybe step up and say, no, listen, he's got a plan. He's the man, we believe in him and everything else. So there might be a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of doubt in the back of his mind that if they're gone, will Mitchell give him the same support or whatever it may be? But I'd like to think he's got enough credit in the bank, Paul, to still, have that support from PIF and above, because
what are all these comments about me? I'm really sorry, Chris, but what are cucumbers and lemons? What are you all writing? I'm trying to listen to Chris here, guys.
I think they've been I think they're complimentary, Alex. To be honest, mate,
they are. They sounded complimentary.
Because you're cool as a cucumber. You bleed lemon juice. I think it's just.
I teach a lemon squeezing class.
All about the stats, mate. All about the stats. That's it.
I don't understand the lemon squeezing class. I mean, do we really need classes to lemon squeeze? I mean, to be fair,
chocolate was all right. I'd get away with that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, to be honest, Alex and Sam are king of the cliches. There's no doubt about that. The stuff that these two come out with are incredible at times.
They are definitely.
Billy's funnier.
No, I avoid them like the plague. Cliches.
I do enjoy one.
I'll do like a cliche.
Did nobody pick up on that from Billy there, man? Somebody must have picked that up there. Billy, that was spot on, mate, and nobody picked it up. Oh, come on.
Been a long
I
week.
avoid cliches like the plague. Come on, guys. Anyway, we got a super chat from Craig. Thank you very much, mate. Have you seen the latest BS that Yamal might not play due to German law not allowing people under the age of 18 to work past 8 p.m.?
I mean,
What a load
that
of
is a real
clickbait.
thing. That is a real thing, but
he played in the semi-final.
No. They're twisting it. They're twisting it. They just get fined for it. So they're twisting it to make a headline. Like there's a bit of truth in that, but they'll just pay the fine because they don't care.
Well, I say they must have already paid one from.
They will have done.
The
Yeah, I
semi-final.
can't remember if
they
it's
did.
weekdays or just Sundays or it's just German law.
Sunday's God's day. We should all be still and be calm. Ian Toon Trader, thank you very much, buddy. Ask Chris to call me about his actual job.
Yeah, I do know Ian from the day job. I did meet Ian many years ago. So yes,
God
I'll
help
go way
you.
back with Ian.
Do you sell forks and
Spoons and
No. Yeah, I sell heavier things. So I have crossed Ian's path there quite a few times.
A ladle by any chance? You do ladles with a spoon.
No, slightly bigger. It's like guess the appliance now out of the game show now. What really?
Oh, Jesus Christ, let's not.
Dubious.
Bloody hell. I don't know what happened to my voice there yet. I went a bit high pitched there. Joe Linton, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Everyone loves Gallant. He doesn't love me at the minute. Gary Dust, thank you for your new membership. Much appreciated, my friend. Barbara, thank you for your super chat. Hi, Paul. Would just like to say have a fab holiday. I'm sure you will bring back lots of funny footage for us all to have a giggle over. You have a competent crew, so no worries there. Thank you, Barbara. Yes, Susan will have a camera at every point and anything that happens to me. Mind you, I am going to seriously embarrass her. No, Billy, there will be no seals and sharks involved in any footage that I bring back, because if a shark licks me face, I am in deep shit, mate. It's very much not like a giraffe, let's be fair. A lot more pointier teeth and do a lot more damage. And I don't think anybody has ever come out of the water saying, a hammerhead just licked me face.
Do sharks have tongues?
How are we getting into this conversation? I mean,
I will just say to everybody, viewers and all, he will come back with 2 or 3 stories like this. You're just going to have to be prepared. There will be a couple of things that he comes back with.
Well, I do have my scuba diving license, and I was going to go scuba diving until I see
that. Of course, you have a scuba diving license, Paul. Of course, you do.
Well, I do. I've got a paddy diving license. Why? I did it in Mallorca.
I've done it in Mallorca, to be fair.
Haven't we all?
Oh, God.
Magaluf, it's there for a reason.
The statues of Billy up in Magaluf, I tell you. Honestly. Jesus. Alex, why were you so surprised at that? I mean, what's wrong with me having a...
No. I mean, it might have sounded like sarcasm, but I'm genuinely feel like that. It wasn't meant like that. I genuinely can see you. I could see you walking up to a sign, scuba diving classes, and going, "Oh, hell yeah, I'm going to do that."
That's exactly what I did, Alex. They came round the pool in Mallorca and says, "Does anybody, and they give you a lesson. They give you a little lesson."
Hang on, you learn how to do it in a pool.
No. Let me finish, please. They came to the pool to try and get people to sign up to do the course. So, course, I did it. They give me a little tryout in the pool with the equipment on. And then 2 days later, I went and done a whole course and then went and scuba dived. But the time I did the scuba diving was very difficult because I was sunburnt to shit and had to put a wetsuit on, followed by an oxygen tank, etc., over my burnt shoulders. The pain was worse than child labor.
There you go. This is what I mean. We're going to get one of those stories when he comes back. Well, at least 2, I'd say.
Well, I'm sorry, but they're better than Billy shitting on a tortoise stories, aren't they? I mean,
that was a joke. It was real.
Well, Billy, you convinced the nation that was real. Connor, thank you for your super chat. Jordan, TalkSport, we're up in arms and against the takeover from day one. They get their heads turned when they get invited to the boxing in Saudi. See, that's the case with most of the journals, to be honest. Yeah,
I did find, to be fair, an interesting screenshot today of when Manchester United were linked to the Saudi takeover, Miguel Delaney's article, and then when we got linked with the takeover, his article, and the comparison is just it's criminal. So when it was Manchester United, he put Saudi Arabia's interest in Manchester United is real.
That's not the article. I've just put something on the screen. I thought it was the article, but it's not. Carry on, Alex.
He goes, given Saudi Arabia's long-standing links with Old Trafford and the country's attempts to diversify into sport investments, it is surprising that it has taken this long to enter into the race. Quite a neutral article from Miguel Delaney there about Manchester United being purchased by Saudi Arabia or the investment fund. He's just written Saudi Arabia, so he's not even distinguished. And then what is us? He's put Saudi Arabia's takeover of Newcastle is nakedly political. It's about sports washing, not football. It's the same thing. It's the same people linked with two different football clubs in the same league.
Yeah, it is.
He's such a hypocrite. And I feel confident in saying that he's a hypocrite and he's a fool. That's not.
I'll tell you what. Let's hear what our esteemed guest has to say about Mr. Delaney, because I'm sure Chris has a few words he's already said about Delaney in the past. Have you, Chris?
Possibly not one suitable for children, I don't think, as well, I'd imagine. But
let it go, mate. Just let it go.
I do tend to do that. Yeah, I mean, him, Oliver Hull, people like that, they're just so hypocritical, as Alex said there. But I think the reason that they were so anti-Newcastle takeover is that they were petrified Newcastle were going to break the status quo. We were going to smash into that little elite club of the top greedy six. And that's exactly why the likes of bedwetters like Miguel Delaney were shiting themselves when they saw the Saudis were linked to Newcastle. And then they were, flapping and saying, we need to stop this happening. The Premier League were even trying to stop it happening, as we talked about earlier on there as well. And they didn't stop it happening, thanks largely to Amanda Staveley and her kind of due diligence with the whole thing. But they've tried to put every single roadblock in the way, and Newcastle just keep coming. So fuck Delaney and the rest of them as well. Is what
there he goes. There's Chris. He's here. He's arrived, ladies and gentlemen.
Mark will be shocked this took me that long to swear, by the way. He'd be stunned.
Did anybody see the details of the Joshua Zirkzee deal for Man United?
I've seen a bit of it, yeah.
They want to pay 35 million over 3 years. Man United don't usually do that kind of thing, do they? They
haven't got any money, have they?
But they haven't, clearly.
By the way, Susan has sent us a very nice photo of Paul.
Oh, look at that.
Scuba diving.
Yeah, there is me in my scuba diving gear. Yes, I think she just sent you that to shut you up, Alex, with your sarcastic little crappy remarks.
I haven't seen it yet. Does the tank look really small on his back?
No, Sam, I'm not that big. Jesus Christ, it's an oxygen tank, a normal size one. Thank you very much.
Like a Duracell battery, just sitting on his back.
Taking it off a Playmobil set.
Yeah, listen, Mr. Small there having his 2 pennies worth. The man who's 2'5" and drives around in a go-kart. Let's be honest, Alex.
I just borrow the gnome's fishing rod. It's much easier than buying a real one.
Twat! You can't even have a dig at him because he puts the dig in first. I didn't expect that from you, though, Chris. To be honest,
how you pronounce that.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
What was that, Billy?
Look at how you pronounce that, dig, and not anything that sounds like dig. To be fair,
I don't understand.
Let's gloss over that one before we get cancelled.
Literally.
Tangy says Billy doing deep diving. Oh no. No.
Spot of Orienteer and in Magaluf.
The good old days, Bill. The good old days, eh?
Oh my God. Spoons here. If Paul goes scuba diving, Greenpeace will wrap him up in towels and drag him back into deeper water. Cheeky. That's shocking, mate. I'm never speaking to you again. Sharks would be scared of you, Paul. More chance of you biting them than the other way. Paul is a snorkeler. No. Billy is definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Chipper says if you live in Blythe, you can dive for fish without a license on street corners. Wow. Dear. I didn't say that, by the way. That was a comment. Barbara says the story in this morning's show about seals, they are indeed dangerous to go near in the water. Where is this show going?
Yeah, but I didn't go near it. It went near me. It went in between my legs, basically.
Did it have consent?
To be fair, I don't know how I got through, actually, to be perfectly honest.
Chris, welcome to Animal Planet.
We're just gearing everybody up to the marine biologist.
I'll join the stream there in a minute. So.
Well, I think you know by now that this show tends to go off in tangents sometimes, especially when Billy's talking about fishing in Magaluf. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Should we talk about James Bunce?
You're beautiful. Oh, sorry, James Bunce. Yes, yes, you can. Yes.
Oh dear. Right. Well, we'll set this up for Chris then. He'll be joining the new sporting director, Paul Mitchell. He worked with him at Monaco. His CV, by the way, I was having a look at this in an article earlier, is ridiculous. He went and did the same sort of stuff that he does. So he's come in as the director of performance, but he actually went and did that after leaving Southampton. He went and did this kind of director of performance role within England in its entirety, and then went to the US to do it. Then obviously went to Monaco. So he's done this at a national level, not just for one club. And then has obviously rejoined us. So I think the focus at Monaco, it may differ slightly coming to us, but his focus was injury prevention, risk reduction. Let's put helmets on Anthony Gordon when he rides a bicycle, basically. Monitoring physical preparation, performance, medical, nutritional, and psychological aspects. So covering all bases there from not James Blunt, James Bunce, everyone.
So, well, in terms of that, he just sounds like the best of the best, doesn't he, in terms of his field? And I think that's what we need to take from these kind of appointments. And if that's the kind of influence that Mitchell has, you know, around the game, then we are going to end up with some really good people in those positions. But as you rightly say, Stato, that was the biggest issue we had last season. You know, these players burning out, breaking down. You know, just laughing at Paul there, Ian. But I think the likes of people like Joe Willock, who are really good players, but something isn't quite right with his recovery, with his, you know, the way he's training. Maybe that is.
Well, this guy might help
exactly
with that. You know, maybe we rush players back, or maybe
Callum
there was
Wilson's a perfect example. Yeah,
exactly.
Callum Wilson's a perfect example. You get Callum Wilson. I mean, people are talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Wilson had better stats than him, even though he was broken half the season. If you can figure out how to use Wilson in the way that his body will allow you to do that, and this guy can work this out with science and you know, strategy and you know, probably boring Excel sheets to us, but to him, if he can keep Joe Wilson fit for key parts of the season, that could mean us finishing top 4, and I'm all for that. I think it's a great appointment.
Agreed.
I'm just seeing somewhere some of the chat coming in about seals and stuff.
Really.
It's unbelievable.
Nothing about blowing a seal. There was a.
See.
I'm sorry. I just we have to try and stay professional. We have a guest on this show.
That's all right. Don't worry. Don't you worry about it. We do one on Monday night that ends up going in very strange rabbit holes as well.
Oh, no, I've seen. Don't you worry, mate. I've watched a few of yours that have gone slightly off on a tangent.
Absolutely.
But you've got no chance when you got Trey on the show and a filthy mind like Sam next to you there. I mean, Jesus Christ.
She looks like butter wouldn't melt there. She's putting a good face on.
What you're talking about.
She's worse than all of us.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got a couple more super chats.
I'm surprised you mentioned some about rabbit holes and Chris, to be fair.
I've been down a few.
For fuck's sake. I mean, you know,
Are you sure you're okay going away, Paul? Are you sure you're all right?
I mean,
the cat's away.
Well, no, because I've got Simon Cowell, you know, to do most, you know, to oversee the show. So, you know, you keep these two under wraps, that's for certain.
Absolutely.
Ian Spoon says, thank you for your super chat. I think, you twat. Chris knows all about animals with that effing cat.
Oh God, yeah, Mark's podcast. It's an absolute nightmare on the Monday shows. It's calmed down a bit. He says he hasn't, but I think he's tranquilizing its milk, I think, because it just seems to be very quiet of late. It used to just kind of flash across the screen like something out of a horror movie across the camera. The microphone would wobble. Mark would be down here looking, I'm trying to talk to him, but it seems to have calmed down a bit as of late. But Ian's a huge fan of the podcat, as we named it.
Podcat.
So.
Yeah.
Podcat,
hey, listen,
yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's Friday night, and if you can't have a laugh on a Friday night, then what can you do? Even Stato might crack a grin at some point during the show. Honestly, do you play poker, Stato?
Occasionally.
Yeah, it's not really a surprise. Gary Clark, thank you for your super chat. Between you lot and Simon Whistler, there is nothing like a British tangent. Keep being yourselves. Who is Simon Whistler?
I don't know who that is.
Tom Lynch. Who is Simon Whistler?
Simon
You'll know.
Whistler.
Tom
Tell you what,
knows.
we've got a few Man United fans in the chat tonight. It's really because
Have we?
I mean, what day is it? Friday at 7:45. So we have random Manchester United fans across presumably this country, maybe the world, who are sat there on a Friday night at 7:45, Googling or YouTube searching Newcastle United news, finding us, going onto the show and watching a live stream of a club, nothing to do with their own club, and then listening for 20 minutes and then commenting, "Oh, I don't like that comment. You're silly Geordies." I mean, I just get a hobby. Just do something. Go outside.
Listen, we do always say on this channel, we welcome other fans from other clubs, as long as the conversation is adult and things like that. Anthony Clark says they got lost looking for porn, and so we were talking about seals. Wow,
Paul, we have an announcement from the club literally 1 second ago. Breaking news.
Oh! Let's get it on the screen. Here we go.
Do you want to read it?
Newcastle United. I've just knocked it off. Newcastle United announces that an agreement has been reached to change the club's ownership structure. PIF and RB Sports and Media will together acquire PCP Capital Partners shareholding in the club, and Amanda Staveley will step down from all her positions with Newcastle United. Our sincere thanks to Amanda and Mairdad. Well, that's brief as it comes, to be honest. I mean, that's kind of what we expected, Sam.
It's very high level, very ambiguous. I would expect to see a follow-up from our outspoken Amanda, and I fully expect that. She's been the voice of the fans and the conduit between the club and the people. So it's a huge gap that she's going to leave. So having such a brief statement like that, which is, pretty much a cookie cutter of any farewell club statement that I've ever seen. I would have liked to have seen more of a heartfelt thanks from the club. Do
you know what would have been nice, Sam? And to be honest, you know how no, there isn't. Like like they've put when players have left, like they've done little videos of the players saying thank you. I mean, it's very short.
Cold.
I mean, Ange makes a good point there, Chris, and saying it's very short and not sweet.
Yeah, they've got to be careful here. I think the club is changing. And a lot of our I would say older fans, but the fans who have been used to the humanity within Newcastle United, and Amanda Staveley enhanced that with the way she interacted with the fans. If they're going to just go so cold so quick, they are going to get some negative kickback from the fan base. I think Sam just said it right there as well. And for me, I think Amanda will go and she will do maybe a social media video or something like that. There's some absolute crackers, isn't there?
Unless she's not allowed, Chris. There might be something in place.
Yeah, it could be this. I mean, the ink could still be wet on that contract, and that's why she hasn't spoken out yet, because they had to finalize a few deals and nobody was allowed to do anything. Now the club have made a statement. Maybe she is able to make a statement, but yeah, it just looks really businesslike. It doesn't look like there's any kind of emotion or anything there, So
I have to say, I am a little disappointed in that. I was expecting a little bit more from that, and like you said, that's going to get the rumor mongers going ballistic, saying, she's being pushed out. It's that's just going to the rumors on that side of things are just going to grow now.
Do you know what concerns me about it? Because as Chris rightly said, the humanitarian side that came from Amanda, is it all going to be robotic from now on? Is it going to be less transparent from now on? We've enjoyed what we've had the past 2.5 years, haven't we? With transparency, everything was all out in the open. Things that was going on, the ladies' team, things like that. What's going to happen now? It seems to be all very conclusive and robotic for me now. That's an awful statement, I've got to say.
Well, Claire says hopefully they follow up with more of a thank you, as that is a cold statement, and basically everybody commenting in the chat is saying that it's a very, very cold statement.
Yeah,
given what
they're in that meeting now, aren't they?
Well, I think the meeting's finished, Alex. To be honest, I mean,
not necessarily. Not necessarily. That might have come out. They might have said straight away. They might have somebody for the social media team there, and we'll see. I'm sure something will. This is probably so that something has been put out straight away today. Because
I mean, there's us saying at the start of the show
something
we haven't heard from the club, and now we have.
Yeah.
Maybe it's over the weekend we'll see
if they've all had that, they've had to make several big decisions with the chairman and other people, so they wouldn't have had time to do like a special video and things like that. Maybe they didn't know all the details.
Longer statement on the website apparently, Steve. If you want to quickly look.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have a look.
Ian Toon Trader, thank you for your super chat. He says Stato has wind. That's not a smile. Well, I mean, normally
I eat my fibre, thank you.
Well, I don't know what you call what Bill eats. Then if you eat fibre,
I had some fibre once.
Did you? Would you like to digress?
Just the once.
Okay.
Oh, we do. Yeah, we do have a longer statement on the website if you want to see it.
Okay.
So it's a bit small. It's quite a longer one, but
oh my god! Right.
Just go.
I can read it if you want.
Go the ball bits down.
I can see it, Alex. I'm not. I wear glasses, but I can. Cheeky bastard. PIF and RB Sports and Media will increase their shareholdings in Newcastle United as part of the long-term plan to develop the club and make it a consistently credible competitor in domestic and European competitions. As part of the structural change, PIF and RB Sports and Media will together acquire PCP Capital Partners shareholding in the club, and Amanda Staveley will step down from all her positions with Newcastle United. Following this, the new shareholding structure will see PIF control around 85% and RB Sports and Media holding the remaining 15% stake in the club. These structural changes are expected to be completed during July 24. PIF, RB Sports and Media and the board of Newcastle United would like to thank Amanda Staveley and Mairdad Gadusi for the key role they played in the acquisition of the club and their dedication to developing the framework for the long-term success over the past 2.5 years. Yassir went on to say, Amanda and Mairdad will forever have our tremendous thanks and well wishes as they move on to focus on their other business interests. We have achieved so much together since 2021, including achieving Champions League football in our first full season as stewards of this incredible club. The ownership group, together with CEO Darren Eales and the club's executive team, will continue to build on these foundations for long-term success, sustainable success for the team and our amazing fans, and we are excited about the future prospects for Newcastle United. Amanda went on to say, Newcastle United is such a special, unique club. Billy, I think you need to...
I'm already going.
All right, okay. Newcastle United is such a special. I mean, we need some sort of for Billy.
Titanic music. Have you got it lined up?
You're here. Newcastle United is such a special, unique club, and being a co-owner of Newcastle United has been an honour. Mairdad and I have loved being part of this club and community and are extremely proud of the progress Newcastle United has made in recent years. Our ambition has always been aligned to the brilliant fans of this club to create consistently successful teams that regularly compete for major trophies and generate pride across the globe. We are grateful to have played our part in setting up the club for even more future success. We will remain fans for life.
Ignore
That's it. I've welled up at that last bit.
Ignore everything we just said.
Yeah, I mean, why does this happen on this channel? Do we sort of, say something and then incredibly something else? I mean, that's as touching as it comes, Chris.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice that there was a bit more substance to it, wasn't it, than just that kind of first initial cold one that we're seeing. I mean, I think, if the club don't do something, like a video, there is some really talented social media channels. I'm trying to remember the name of that channel that does all the great videos. Start might tell me. I like loads of the videos and I can't remember what they're called on top of my head right now, but there will be a lot of that, I think, going on because as we've all said, she's become an iconic figure in the club's history now. She's changed the course of this football club forever. And, she'll always be welcome back here. She'd never have to buy a drink in Newcastle. That's for damn sure, I think. But it's sad to see them move on, but it's really touching to hear those words and just how much as a club and as a fan base and as a community we've touched their hearts as well. So good luck to them and thank you.
Jesus Christ, man. Well, not now. Jesus.
Sorry, mate.
Neve says, Amanda the Brave, our light in time of darkness. Toon legend S should have a statue for her, definitely. Steve says, Billy and the Titanic music. Is that because they both went down in the sea?
There was lots of semen on both occasions.
Oh, Look at Alice. He's just stone-faced. He doesn't even react to that. How do you do that? Anyway,
it's because I'm not listening. That helps.
Well, that makes it
I think that will help.
Kevin, thank you for gifting a Toon Review membership. Very kind, my friend. Dan is celebrating 2 years of membership. Thank you for your incredible support. Another possibility is Mandy and Meerdad are going to be utilised as their partner for finding and taking over other clubs. As long as they stay away from the Mackhams. George Hayes has come in with a whopping $100 super chat. Thank you very much, George. That is incredible. Carrier, thank you for your super chat. Paul, could you sing all Titanic song, please?
How much did you How much did he offer?
Who?
Carrier, for you to sing that.
20 Norwegian kroner.
Right, 21 Norwegian kroner, please. Anyone?
Well, that's just not enough for me to sing Titanic. I mean, look, I like me singing, and I have. Alex, why are you going through pictures of Amanda Staveley? You're forgetting you're still sharing your screen with us.
Somebody get the tissues out early. I wonder if that's anything to do with it.
All right, there you go. Now you can't see it. I was doing a thank you tweet while we were live, because why not?
I think you need this holiday, Paul.
Gary, thank you for another super chat. He says, first, that statement is more than I would have expected. Secondly, Simon Whistler is a YouTube fact boy. I think our two rant masters would enjoy Brain Blaze.
I was called Fat Boy once.
I assume by rant masters he means you and Lady Sam. I'm way behind
I don't
YouTube,
think
guys.
so,
Way
Chris,
behind.
to be honest. No, that's definitely me and you, my man. Definitely. We'll have to check it out, Chris. Pick up some tips. Kevin, thank you for your super chat. Good to see you, Chris. You guys are okay, but he's a legend. Oh, well, there you go. I mean,
thanks. Is that Mark with a fake name? He's in the comments.
You never know. You never know. Let's have a look. Anyway, we're coming up to an hour already, which is incredible. Before we finish, Chris, I just want to get your thoughts on the transfer status of the club at the moment. You know, the goalkeepers that have come in. Obviously, we've got Lloyd Kelly through the door as well. Back for pre-season now, but I would expect that Eddie will want the signings done and dusted quite quickly so they can take part in pre-season. Are you worried about the fact that it's been very quiet? Are you very optimistic about what's going to happen in the next few weeks now? Once Euro 24 is done?
Yeah, I mean, I think the PSR thing was a bit of a scramble, wasn't it? We were all a little bit twitchy about that with some of the stories that went out, and obviously we got over the line and sorted that out. Obviously, to retain people like Isaac and Gordon, and by the looks of it, Bruno, they're key to what we're going to do and succeed next season. I think the goalkeeper one's an interesting one because we were all very taken by Mamadashvili, especially how good he was in the Euros as well. We were all thinking about, is it going to be a number one? I think the fact that the goalkeeper noise has gone a bit quiet. I wasn't massively inspired by Trafford. I know he could grow into be a really good goalkeeper, but I think if Nick Pope is going to be the number one next season, which I think he is, as long as he stays fit and hopefully, Bunn's coming in can help, him with his fitness regime and stop him getting injured because he's so key to us. But yeah, Lloyd Kelly's a steady signing, but I think I would love to have some star quality coming into that attacking third. We really struggled, I think, to kill off games and to take control of games because we didn't have those players. And I know Eddie loves a hard-working, grafting player, and I'm not saying go get a Maxi or something like that, but we need those players. Like the Champions League was a prime example. You need those players who can just do something out of nothing. Yes, we've got Isaac, and Gordon, and Bruno at times, but I think we could just do another couple more just to really set it alight. Barnes was unlucky with his injuries, but we need somebody else on that right-hand side, I think, to just give us that cutting edge. And I really hope they get somebody big and somebody proven in through the door.
What was that player's name? Harvey.
Oh,
Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes.
No, I never
Harvey
heard
Price.
of him.
Billy!
We're not going there.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, we need some quality. I think, and some big quality, some star quality as well. I think would really get the fans off their chair and excited for next season. Because I think top four has to be the plan next season. It has to be the goal. It really does.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Andrew Watson says Paul should take Billy on holiday with him.
He's barred from where you're going. He's not allowed back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the incident with the seals. He's banned off Fuerteventura Island forever.
Pictures of him in the airport. He's all in the airport. He's not allowed in.
Jesus Christ. Listen, thank you everybody for your kind comments about having a good holiday. I will. Me and Susan and the kids will have it's our first family trip abroad since we've been together. So really, really looking forward to it. And the kids are up a height, should be in better sleep now because we've got to be up at, in about
7 hours time.
6 or 7 hours time. I still have to load the car. I still have to do loads of stuff. So, there you go. I'm not, God knows how much sleep I'm going to get, but not much. I can guarantee you, not much. But thank you, everybody. It's been a great show. Chris, thank you so much for coming on, matey. It's always good to have you on and get your input on things. And I'm pleased, actually, that statement came out while we were live. So we basically covered it straight away rather than have to go through it on another show. So that was absolutely brilliant. Yes, remember to please vote for us in the Content Awards, guys. The link is pinned at the top of the description. Click on it, fill your details in, and make sure you vote for us in the category of Best Club Content Creator Premier League. That's Best Club Content Creator Premier League. And by the way, just regarding my holiday, I've just found out that Lady Sam's mum is on our flight.
That'll be fun.
Well, I mean, you just dropped that bomb on me before we went live. So if I see a woman make a beeline for me, Susan, don't hit her. Whatever you do. Yeah,
she's feisty. She's from Southampton.
Well, she's your mother. She's bound to be. Sorry, go on, Chris.
If I can just add one thing there. I was just waiting for that to come in. I heard what you guys were saying at the start about some of the jip that you've had as well. And, we get a little bit of this, probably nowhere near the scale you guys do, because of you're right, the bigger you are, the more these people come out. But, they're just cowards. They don't realize the dedication, the hard work it takes to do these things. You guys don't have to do this. You do it because you love it, and the people who watch it love it as well. And for people to come and throw negative comments into the chat, they don't have the balls to do it themselves. So don't criticize somebody else for doing it. That's all I had to say about that. I think you guys do a great job. The channel's amazing, and you deserve every bit of praise you get. And thank you very much for having me on. And them lot can just fuck off, one of a better word.
Chris, thank you so much. And
end the note on a high.
Yeah, absolutely. I will put the link to Chris's channel, EverMore, in the description, so you'll be able to just click on that and go and give those guys a subscribe as well. It's a brilliant channel. As I say, we want to start doing a lot more with EverMore and doing different shows together. So hopefully Chris will be happy. I've just dropped that on him, by the way. I haven't I've just said okay. we'll get him on a few more times.
It'd be our pleasure, guys. We love what you guys do, and we have a lot of mutual viewers. So it's great.
Exactly. Yep. There's a lot of kind comments coming about your channel tonight, Chris. So I think you're very much similar to us, is that you say how you feel, and that's why for me, that's the best way to go on about it. Just stop trying to play to the massive and just say how you feel. And we get incredible comments saying how negative we are at times because we speak the truth. Somebody put a GIF on social media yesterday saying that the Toon review, out of 1 to 10 of negativity, was 11. So it was a lovely statement, and But piss off. Right, that's it. I will be back in a couple of weeks' time. I will leave you in the hands of the three amigos there. God help you. But no, seriously, they will be doing a fantastic job. And I've got no doubt about that. Give them your support. Let them, there's some cracking shows coming up as well. And of course, they will bring you all the breaking news from Newcastle United as well. But thank you for watching. Thank you for your incredible super chats tonight and incredible gifting of memberships. You guys just step up every show. It really is unbelievable. And thank you so much for watching. Chris, thank you so much for coming on, buddy. It's been an absolute pleasure. Mods, thank you very much. And of course, to those three people there, Happy Alex, Billy the Seal, and Lady Sam. Thank you very much. And we will, well, I won't, but these guys will see you over the weekend, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. But until then, have a cracking weekend, folks, and we will see you very soon. Good night.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check on Sabrina.